hope you're having a great day. So Nate is out of town and I have dog duty, so I'm walking my little pups. And I thought I would do a quick video while I had this moment because it's been a while again. But it has been really busy on the farm, which is awesome. I just got one of my fields, the smallest field, weeded yesterday, which felt amazing. I haven't had any time. The weeds are getting, I mean, look at these grasses. Like, in comparison, like, they're probably 4 foot tall. And some of the weeds are just as tall, it seems like. So I did get a ton weeded. And I was really excited about that. I almost have everything in the ground. I think I have a couple of successions I need to do. I have a zinnia succession today and a sunflower succession today. And then I have one tray of celosia that I had started as a succession, and I think it's getting tall enough to put out. And then I have some snapdragons. And you'll notice I'm wearing long sleeves. So it's been so hot. It's been in the upper 80s and it's just been really, really hot for the last few weeks. And now the weather cooled down and today's high is 75. So it's absolutely glorious and I'm hoping to get a lot done. Although I did get everything cut today, I've been snapping a lot of pictures. So the yarrow started coming in. I'll throw a picture of that on the screen. The lupine's been coming in. It finally rained. Rain is such a glorious thing. It just makes everything pop. But the bachelor buttons have been phenomenal. My snapdragons just started blooming. I think I've cut about 7 of them now. So not a ton, but they're coming. And of course the peonies were fantastic. I'm still having to use those as a focal flower in all of my arrangements because the zinnias and stuff like that aren't quite ready yet. The lilies are starting to pop at my house, so I've been cutting those. I need to order lilies and get them out on the farm because right now would be a perfect time when the peonies are kind of dwindling out and those lilies start popping. Be a really good time to have a lot of lilies. And today I noticed my baby's breath was starting to bloom, so I'll be cutting a lot of that. I have quite a few bushes and a little bit of that goes a long way. So I've got that. I've still been getting florist orders. I still have all my subscriptions every week. And now the people in town have been starting to order bouquets for people. So birthdays and secretaries and thank yous and I'm sorry's and all of that kind of stuff. So the season has really picked up. I just get out here every day and I cut as many flowers as I can. And then I was putting stuff in the field, and now I'm on to being able to weed. I do have to put a few more things in the field, but other than successions, I'm done planting. It feels so good to get everything, and I am still battling the moles. So the moles I did get some Lisianthus plugs. I put them in the ground just to see if it would help. And then the moles came along and dug those up too. So I don't know how many Lisianthus will make it. And then I did notice in one of my fields, they had taken out a section. It's a smaller section in my smaller field of like gomphorine and stuff. So that field was all planted, and now there's a little section that doesn't look planted at all, but that's okay. I hope they don't continue to wreak havoc. I guess I've talked to some master gardeners, I've just talked to gardeners around town, and just, you know, my subscriptions, there's a lot of people that have their own gardens, and I guess this year is just horrible for moles. They're everywhere, and everybody is battling them. So, I don't know. I guess they eat the grubs in the soil, but the grubs eat the roots of your plants, so it's like, maybe the moles in some weird way are actually helping, because if they're eating the grubs might have ate all the roots off and killed the plants later, and maybe some of those that got pushed up, you push them back down and you save some plants. So I don't really know, I guess, what the lesser of the two evils is. Good girls. Good girls. The pond gets really green this time of year. There's a little path down that way too. I appreciate you saying that you understand that it's busy, and I just haven't had the time for doing the videos. But I have taken a lot of pictures. If you see something you like, you can always ask questions. I do try to answer comments and stuff like that. That is a little less time consuming, so if you wonder what something is in a bouquet, I would be happy to tell you. I'm getting a lot more greens now. I have an aunt that has these awesome looking bushes this time of year, and so I go and kind of trim them up off of her sidewalk. That has been awesome foliage. I need to figure out the name of it. It's a variegated something or other, but I did cut some, and I might try to start some out here, because it would be just phenomenal filler, I think, all year long. It's got this white and green leaf to go with, like, now if you look, these Marrow honeysuckle, they dropped all their flowers and their leaves turn this really, really dark green. So I've been using a lot of it. I try to find better leaves that haven't been chewed up. So anyway, I've been using a lot of those greens. The asparagus all ferned out, and so it's all whimsical and crazy in the bouquets, and it looks really pretty. So I've been using that. And the Sweet Annie is getting taller, so I've been cutting on it. But I think things are starting to look good. I'll take you up here now and show you a few things. I've not weeded that field. I've got to do it, but I did get this field all weeded. for the most part. There is some amaranth I left. The cosmos are getting quite a bit of height on them. So down here I've got cosmos, and then Sweet Annie. Here I've got cosmos, and then get out of there, Callie. Come on. Those are gomphrena. Cal. You're a problem. Do you know that? Do you know that you're a problem? Just right over. Just just right over every plant. Just smashing it. Just smashing the Dusty Miller. Just right in it. So anyway, Cosmos, Dusty Miller, and then Pincushion flower. And then here I've got Cosmos. I've got my Artemisia. I've got a bunch of Gomphrena, Bells of Ireland. And then up at the very top is where the moles went crazy. And then I have Dianthus. And then down here I've got my Gladiolas. And then the Amaranth is getting super tall. And then I've got my Euphorbia Snow on the mountain in front of the Amaranth. I got most of it weeded, although there's a lot of grasses in it, so it was a pain. That is one thing I will tell you. I thought that it would be maybe just as easy because it gets so tall it would shade everything out, but no, I think I will always use the Black Landscape Fabric in Iowa, because that has been, unless I do that method where they put the cardboard and a little bit of dirt on, that's way harder to weed than it is to weed in the landscape fabric. So that was quite the chore the other day. And then at the top up here is the foxglove. So this is also foxglove, but look at this. You can see how big a hole, like the moles just pushed everything up and all the dirt is just out. So they kind of got and ransacked that area, but what are you gonna do? And then I still need to weed my garden over here, but the blue sea holly is super tall. I'm starting to see a little blue in it. The zinnias are coming up. The snapdragons are coming up. I've been cutting my bachelor buttons like crazy. And then this needs weeded. And then my Lisianthus, it does look like there's a lot of green in there. There's also a lot of yellow, and that is because of the mold damage. But some of it's yellow, some of it's green. The stalk, it might flower with this cooler weather. And like I said, don't mind the weeds. I just haven't gotten, I'm gonna try to get to that today. And my sunflowers are getting quite a bit of height on them. And it looks like my last succession are just tiny and a bunch of weeds. So hopefully I can get that weeded today. And then the peonies are all done blooming. The lavender, I've cut some lavender and dried some lavender. I'll throw some pictures up. Some of it did good, and some of it is just not doing good. If you'll remember, I dug it all up and transplanted it now twice, once in the fall, once in the spring. And I have some nice looking plants, but there are a lot of dead ones in between. And now there is a lavender farm right by me, and they're growing lavender, and I have enough lavender so far to do what I want with it. I haven't really had time to distill it and do oil and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking of maybe putting peonies in the holes where the lavender died, and it'll just be a mix of lavender and peonies. But there's the baby's breath, my salvia row, and then my yarrow. I've been cutting a ton of yarrow, a ton of larkspur. My larkspur has been phenomenal lately. And then of course I want my pink cone flowers. I think there's been a couple shining through, but I did cut today, so you're not seeing any color. But if you look, you can kind of see the yarrow over there is popping up some color. Those weren't ready to cut yet. You really have to wait until they bloom out or they just wilt. So that part is not done. But the salvia looks so pretty up there with all the purple. And the bees have just been covering the salvia. It's been crazy. And then this was where all of my allium were. But that salvia is so deep purple and pretty. I was using it in bouquets. It's just a really soft texture. In it, I like the greens on it. Oh, there's a larkspur I missed today. And then look at that. Isn't that just pretty? And these rows have gotten weeded a couple of times, but obviously there's still some weeding to do. But man, they're just looking really pretty. I'm loving all the color. My lupine row is weedy, but there is a lot of little lupine in there. So I need to get after the weeds in this row so that I can have big blooms next year. And then my lavender's just starting to turn purple. So I'll be able to harvest all of this very soon. I think it's going to be a good show. But mainly I've just been cutting what I can cut, making bouquets, and delivering flowers and weeding. Pretty much everything's in the ground. I do have successions, like I said, of sunflowers, zinnias. I have celosia. I don't think I'll start any more by seed, but I have a tray in the cold frame. And then I have snapdragons, and I did have a note that I should be succession planting another tray of snapdragons, but honestly I'm running out of room, so I'm not sure where I'd put them. And these need weeded too. Everything needs weeded all the time. But I'm getting some growth on the zinnias. Some of the new seeds I just planted are coming up at the end. It's pretty spotty, but maybe they'll take off with another rain. One of my roses bloomed today. I was so excited. My David Austin roses bloomed. They're still a little small, but over the years, hopefully I'll have a lot of blooms. Isn't that pretty? And the other ones are all budding up really nicely. This one doesn't have too many, maybe 1 or 2 buds. And then zinnias and a lot of weeds. And then a lot of weeds. I need to get in here. I need to get in here and weed these. And then I have my ranunculus. I've gotten like a few ranunculus, but they didn't do well, and now it's just a huge weed patch. If I don't get too many more blooms, I'll probably just mow it down. I don't even know if I could find them to dig them back up. They didn't do that good. And the other day I put some of my extra, like I've been dumping out all my trays into a bin, and I dumped it and I put some of my delphinium and larkspur and foxglove right there. I just dumped it, and then that tray of delphinium, I just dumped the whole tray and just put it there. I thought, well, if some of them grow up along this, that'd be pretty. And this is kind of like the no-till method. You put down cardboard, I put down wood chips, and then I dumped all of my potting soil. So we'll see how weedy that gets, because you guys saw this. That was all freshly tilled, and it's just like that now. I just don't even know. I see people have gardens where they just have rows of their flowers, and they don't have any landscape fabric or anything. I don't know how they do it. maybe the no-till method, but honestly, every time if I even put mulch down, just the weeds from all the fields and all of the pollinators just dropping different seeds and stuff, like they just grow. And I don't feel like you can say in the beginning you can keep ahead of it, because I feel like they all just come. But maybe the no-till method, they don't come as fast as when you till. I'm not real sure. Or maybe where I'm at in Iowa, things just grow like that and there's nothing you can do about it. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for today. I'm going to run these dogs back in. I'm going to get back out here and I'm going to just weed. I'm going to weed, get as many gardens weeded as I possibly can. And in the mix of that, I've got a few deliveries today. And if I get any more calls for orders, I'll be making bouquets and running them in. And that's usually how my days go. I usually start weeding and then I get orders and I go in and put them in and I'll run the orders in. And a lot of times I'll just like make the orders all at once and then run them all in at once, so it's more efficient. But sometimes, like towards the end of the day, I just have to do what I have to do. So, and some people want them in the morning, so then every once in a while, if it's a big enough order, I just make it and run it into town. And then I get back out here and I do some more weeding. So that's pretty much what I've been doing on the flower farm. I hope everybody's having successful seasons, and I will get on here and try to get you updated. We have a big farmers market this weekend, so tomorrow is picking and putting bouquets together. And I've just been doing the wrap bouquets. I haven't really been making, I've been making one or two of the ones in the plastic bags. I've found that I have a couple people still like to buy them in the plastic bags, but most people would rather take just the bouquet out of the bucket of water, have me dry it off and take it with them, because it's easier to transport, and they just go home and cut their stems and take a packet of flower food and they're good to go. So that's what I think most people have been doing, and that for me is an easier task, so I can put more stems in and still charge the $20. And I also can wrap them with craft paper. I wrap some with nicer paper and some with craft paper, especially people that get them every week and rip off the craft paper. It's just better for the environment. So I've been doing that, and they don't look quite as pretty. And there is something about something looking nice when somebody goes to buy it, but I think there's a lot of people that are minded towards the environment that see the craft paper and actually go for it because they know it's better for the environment. So I'm doing that, and just staying busy with all the tasks. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed this update, and I hope you enjoyed the pictures, and I hope you have a great day.